What is up, guys? The fall 2022 anime season looks absolutely insane. Yeah, I know I say that every single season, but that's a good sign because anime is getting better and better and better. If you're looking for action, it's got it. Sports, fantasy, comedy, classics, slice of life, period piece mystery, tons and tons and tons of ecchi rom-coms, romance, horror, mecha, Gundam. We have some Gundam. It's all in the fall 2022 anime season. And that's not even getting started with the returning series like To Your Eternity, Spy X Family, Golden Kamuy, Mob Psycho 100. They are claiming that Kancolle is coming back, My Hero Academia, and yes, Bleach. Bleach is finally coming back. Again, this season has me so excited. I was actually planning on making a video talking about how insane the fall season's turning out to be, even before we had so many of these shows being announced. And there's one thing that has me really excited, personally really excited, and that is so many animal girls. So many animal girls. It's just a great season coming up, and I'm super excited for it. And yes, there's a lot of stuff to dig through. So I decided to make my top 10 most exciting new shows of the fall 2022 anime season, as well as doing a top 10 of my most excited shows returning. So if you're looking at this huge list and wanting to know what to be excited for, let me help you out with that as I jump into my top 10 most excited of fall 2022 anime season. Let's get things out of the way. Yes, I am excited for Chainsaw Man. This show looks like it is going to be absolutely action-packed. It looks insane. MAPPA is doing some incredible work with the animation. I've kind of been keeping myself out of the story content for the show itself, not looking into the manga anyway, so I'm going to go in there pretty fresh. But I do have to admit, a lot of my excitement is around how just brutally violent this show looks. Something that's not trying to be shying away from anything gory, and I'm looking forward to that. And again, plus the fact that it's MAPPA working on it, it's going to probably be absolutely incredible. I'm trying to keep my expectations low. Like, the hype is through the roof, and I'm trying to keep my hype levels down, but definitely looking forward to Chainsaw Man. Hopefully when I do cover this show, I don't get struck by them. For my next show that I'm excited for is Reincarnated as a Sword. Now yes, there's a key reason why I'm excited for this one, and this is like cute cat girl that looks like she has a terrible life, being saved by a guy that was isekai'd as a sword, because why not? But she looks super cute. She kind of reminds me of the girl from How Not to Summon Demon Lord. But I'm hoping that there's a lot of wholesome in there. This girl that's, again, been through a lot of terrible stuff, finally getting a leg up in life, and hopefully the adventures that she has having a better life in the end. For my next show I have is Do It Yourself. Now this is a series that I honestly had zero expectation for coming into the season. It was one that honestly, it wasn't until I watched the PV for it that my levels of excitement just shot through the roof. This looks to be a slice of life show with a bunch of girls that join a do-it-yourself club. And they learn how to make things and they form friendships and all that kind of stuff. But it was a lot to do with the soft look of the trailer itself, the characters and everything that really did have my excitement levels shoot through the roof. I do love a lot of these more laid back, kind of self-discovery and friendships and bonds stories that you get from anime. It's got the director for Kakeki Shoujo, and it has a series composition and script writer from Encouragement to Climb, which I was getting a lot of feels of that with this show. Moving on to my next one, yes, Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury. I am super excited about this show. We have not gotten a standard television Gundam since Iron Blooded Orphans, and Iron Blooded Orphans turned out to be one of my favorite Gundams of all time. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing that progression of their storytelling as Gundam gets more and more mature, and I'm really looking forward to how this series turns out. It's got a solid director and scriptwriter behind it, not something crazy like Mario Kata or something like that, but either way, I am definitely looking forward to it. Hopefully they tone down on the CGI. I haven't actually watched the prelude yet. I plan on watching it before the show comes out, but I really am hoping that they'll back off of that CGI. I know that Iron Blooded Orphans was pretty much all 2D drawn, which was excellent. But yeah, either way, super pumped. For my next one, this is another one that actually grabbed me based on the PV itself. I'm the Villainess, so I'm taming the final boss. This is a series that when I checked out the PV, it kind of gave me a lot of hints of my next life as a villainess. But the thing that grabbed me from the PV, honestly, was the chemistry. Like, I seen this chemistry between these two characters. It's got that whole aspect of her regaining her memories from her previous life and knowing that she's going towards ruin. And so she decides to get with the last boss, the Demon Lord. And like I said, the chemistry between the two of them, a lot of the comedy in the PV itself really did grab me. So I'm hopeful that that's something that really does last the entire series. Hopefully it's not just like a first chapter comedy bit. But either way, it looks great. I'm looking forward to it. For my next one, I admit I absolutely love Cloverworks, and they do a fantastic job with character designs, keeping them on model, and the overall visual style. And so when I seen Bocchi the Rock's going to be their next show for the next season, yes, I'm on it. Yes, granted, they're going to be doing Spike's Family as well, but this is just their project, Bocchi the Rock, which is a series that I thought was an original, but it's actually based off of manga. But either way, the character designs look fantastic. You have basically an outcast girl. These girls coming together to make a band. The music already in the PV sounds fantastic. I haven't seen any animation PV yet, but it just looks great. And I am personally kind of drawn to those stories about a girl that kind of doesn't have that self-confidence that she needs in order to step out, and she's trying something new. It's just kind of an easy character to root for. Now, I have to get some ecchi in here somewhere. But yeah, Renai flops. This one is a show that the PV is definitely special. The PV for this is definitely special. It sort of indicates the story is about a guy that gets this kind of fortune from his television, and it seems to play out things very curiously. But it's supposed to be like a rom-com, ecchi type show. It obviously has some implications in the PV itself. The main character is kind of dumb, but we'll see. We'll see how dumb the main character is. But it looks like it's going to be just all-out crazy harem shenanigans, and it's kind of refreshing to see, honestly, these days. Now, the only thing that has me a little bit paused is that the script writer, the person that's writing the show, because it's an original series, has only done the script work for Steins Gate Zero, which is not their project. So I don't have a pedigree for how this person can write. So I'm a little bit hesitant there. I'm not sure how well they will do. I think they actually have a team as well that's behind it, but hopefully it's got some solid comedy in here and it doesn't just fall apart really quickly. For my next one, ever since Shogun Roku Rakugo Shinju, I have been in love with the idea of an anime of Rakugo. And My Master Has No Tail is essentially about Rakugo performers, but there's a twist. Tanuki. Tanuki are involved. I am really curious to see how this show itself portrays Rakugo, because based on Shogun Roku Rakugo Shinju, I know that it can be a really awesome storytelling thing in anime format. So I am really curious to see how Leiden Films portrays that. But additionally, the characters look fantastic. The Tanuki girl's cute. A lot of the side characters look great. Toko Machida is involved with the series composition, so I know she's going to do a fantastic job. And while unfortunately the director wasn't the one that worked on Shogun Roku Rakugo Shinju, I'm hoping they still pull that off. Either way, eccentric family mixed with Shogun Roku, hopefully it works out in the end. For my next one, this series literally came out of nowhere. I had no clue this was happening. I keep joking about the fact that as much as I cover anime, as much as I keep an eye on, sometimes stuff just slips through the cracks. And yes, this time it was Akiba Maid War. What the hell? What is this show? Apparently it's an original, produced by Cygames and in production with PA Works animating it. Where did this come from? I watched the PV and it's absolutely bonkers. It's basically a back alley maid cafe. You watch the PV, you can smell like the paint coming off these brick walls. Like it portrays it so well. It's like this back alley maid cafe, looks super rundown. It has like a vulgar sense to it, which I'm not used to with PA Works. I think the last time they had something that was vulgar was probably Canon, but this one's just kind of going all out with that almost Backstreet Girls type of feel with it, being very vulgar, a lot of mosaics covering up who knows what. And I just, the moment I watched the PV, I'm like, yes, I want this. I want this now, and I don't know what it's about. Again, it's being produced by Cygames, so I'm assuming eventually they'll make a mobile game, but I have no clue coming into this, and I'm super curious. And PA Works does some amazing stuff, so I hope it turns out good. And for my last new show I have on my list is Housing Complex C. Now, this one does have me a little bit hesitant because this is an Adult Swim project, completely original. It is co-produced with Production IG. It looks like real good horror. Like, that's all I can say. It's a very short PV that I've seen of it, but it looks like down and out gritty horror. Now, that's something we don't see often in anime. When we do typically get horror, it's usually in the vein of like over dramatic type horror where characters are overly flipping out. Not something like, Corpse Party. Corpse Party is one of those very rare cases where it's like just good horror. Just everything sucks. There's blood and guts and everything. And that's what I'm looking for. And at least based on this very short PV that we have for Housing Complex C, it looks like that. So it's only 4 episodes, and that's the other unfortunate thing. I don't know how we'll be getting it over here because it's going to go to Adult Swim, but I am looking forward to it, and I'm holding hope that it's going to be a solid solid horror. For my honorable mentions, I have two that I really badly want to put in my list, but I didn't because I just don't know anything about them. For my first one I have is Raven in the Inner Palace. This one looks absolutely beautiful. But again, I can't get a sense from the PV if I'm going to like it or not. I am definitely excited and I'm going to be checking out immediately, but at the same time, I have my hesitation there. Next one is the Eminence in Shadow. Now this one looks really crazy, bonkers. It looks like it's trying to be super edgy, but at the same time, I think it's supposed to be slightly comedy. I think the only thing that turned me off with the PV, I think I heard Kirito's voice and I'm like, oh, I don't want Kirito main character right now. I don't know, it looks like it's trying to be super edgy with the PV, and I know it's not going to be edgy. So it's going to be in that area where it's like it's trying to push to be like super hyper violent fantasy, and I always feel like let down when they try to do that, but it's not going to be. So there's another one I'm going to admit that the PV kind of turned me off on it, but I'm definitely checking it out. Immoral Guild looks absolutely bonkers. I'm so into it. I checked out the manga, it's super ecchi. Super ecchi. I don't know how they're going to handle the anime adaptation, honestly. I'm kind of predicting at this point it's going to be super censored, but we'll have to wait and see. But it just looks like a dumb, ecchi comedy. Like every time they go out to an adventure, every single monster seems to be wanting to put these girls in different situations. So I'm looking forward to it either way. Beast Tamer looks pretty cute, just based on the main girl. I think she's absolutely adorable. Again, more animal girls, I'm all for. And yes, the last honorable mention, I will be checking out My Life After I Became a Dummy Head Mike one morning. I was heavily let down by their first one they did, which was the Can I Make Your Ears Happy in 180 Seconds? It's an ASMR anime. Again, 180 seconds, they didn't pull off the ASMR at all good. So I'm hoping they've learned things and this new one will be better. I think it's supposed to have an actual protagonist character as the dummy head microphone, which has a mic on both ears to do the ASMR thing. But specifically with these girls, I think they're supposed to be Yuri. So we'll see. And that's all the new shows that I'm super excited for. Like I said before, I am incredibly excited for all the returning shows coming around. Main one being Urusei Yatsura. I absolutely love Urusei Yatsura. And I think based on the PV, the voice actors they've chosen, the style they chose, the upgraded older visual effects, all that stuff looks absolutely fantastic. I think the PV basically told me this is going to work out. Like it looks like they absolutely love this franchise. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how well they kind of bring it to more modern times. They're obviously going to upgrade the visuals, though keeping the old style. They're obviously going to pick up the pacing on it. I'm really curious to see how they handle things. And having the main character basically voiced by Araragi's Seiyu, I'm like, yes, they couldn't have chose a better Seiyu. I'm super excited for this series to come back, and I cannot wait for it. Yes, Spy X Family Part 2. So into this. I love this series so much. I am so happy to see Anya come back. She is absolute Dotaru and must be protected. Now, it does look like based on the PV, things are going to start ramping up. So I'm curious to see how that handles. Like, I think one of my struggles that I've had with the first part was things like you're not really doing much on the side. You have a lot of the hiding the spy stuff, but not so much with the hiding the assassin stuff. So I'll be curious to see how that stuff lays out, but it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I cannot wait for it. Mob Psycho 100 Season 3, yes, I am excited for it. I didn't like the first season. I love the second season, and I'm hoping to keep that up with the third season. It's kind of its own thing for me. I'm very much so in the middle with a lot of people. There's either people that really love it or people that are like, it's all right. And I'm kind of in that area where, like, it does some really cool stuff, so I'm excited for it. To Your Eternity is coming back. I did not like the Prison Island arc at all, either in the manga or the anime, but I'm excited to see where it goes from here because it's done a lot of really cool stuff in the past, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it handles in the second season. Uzaki-chan wants to hang out, W. We all know what the W is for. I love Uzaki-chan. I think she's great, and she definitely, I wasn't a fan at first. I thought she was kind of annoying, but over time, I kind of fell in love with her, and I cannot wait to see where the show goes from there. Hopefully more romance mixing in there. They've already kind of been touching on it for quite a bit now. Kancolle apparently is coming back. I still don't believe this is real, but whatever, that's coming back. We'll see if that actually happens. I'm really happy to see Encouragement Climb coming back. I love the first season. I adored the second season, and I'm looking forward to the third season. The interesting thing is that the first season was only like a 4-minute short. The second season was like 11 minutes, and now they're going to do full-length episodes going forward. So I'll be curious to see if that longer runtime or screen time might be a bad thing, or if it was more fitted to be a shorter show. It's a very laid-back type of show, very much so like laid-back camp, but I absolutely love the characters. They're adorable, and I just want to see them be happy. Yes, I'm excited for Love Alternative Season 2, as much as everybody that reads the source material is like, how the hell do you even understand what's going on? I did a full, like, episode-by-episode impressions of the series. I had a lot of fun talking to a lot of the visual novel fans. I think the community is really fantastic, and I'm looking forward to talking to you all in the comments again when we cover the second season. And hopefully people don't keep questioning why are you doing this? Just read the visual novel. That's fine. Peter Grill. I am so happy to see the show come back. I loved the first season of Peter Grill and the Philosopher's Time, but Super Extra's coming out. I think it's one of the best adult comedy, very raunchy adult comedies out there, and I cannot wait to see the next season of it. Hopefully High Dive gets it, so we could possibly get the uncensored version, but probably not. And yes, finally, yes, I'm going to talk about it. Yes, it's there. It's here. Bleach. Bleach is coming back. I am super pumped for this. I actually went back and reread the entire manga all the way up to the point that they have adapted for the anime. I didn't go beyond that. Well, I peeked a couple pages, but I am excited for this series to come back. I just had to do a refresher of the series just to kind of remember all the terms and characters and alliances that were at the very end of it. But yeah, super pumped for this. Ichigo is honestly one of my favorite shonen characters. I'm planning on making a video on this, but just rereading through the manga, I realized that Ichigo was like an oddity in the shonen sphere. He's not a whiny kid. He's not overly ganky kid. He's not, I want to fight everybody. He's just kind of a normal guy that gets put in these situations, and when push comes to shove, he just gets the job done. That's it. That's my top most excited shows of the fall 2022 anime season. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got something out of it. I know that most people can't watch all this stuff, so it's good to at least point out some stuff where you go, oh, that looks interesting. I'll be checking that out. But either way, if you stick around on this channel, if you've not already, make sure to that subscribe button. I'll be doing first impressions of all of these shows when they come out. So at that point, if you don't have time to check them out, you can get my perspective on each one of them. But if you did like this video, make sure to go down below and hit that like button and leave me a comment. Let me know what you're most excited for the next season. Your comment and your likes and all that kind of stuff helps us out. And I love hearing from you guys. Additionally, if you want to support the channel more, we have a Patreon link, a tips link, and a super thanks button down below. Your support makes this happen, and y'all take care.